Welcome to WB Institution, the online educational app. Today we are going to discuss a common paper for all candidates who are preparing for Indian Engineering Service, that is General Studies and Engineering Aptitude. In General Studies, UPSC itself mentioned there is no special knowledge required for preparing this concept. Here the syllabus contains national and international socio-economic development. We are going to discuss about economics. Since there is 10 questions, there will be 10 questions asking for in this syllabus, but in that 10, nearly more than 7 questions was asked from economics. Now, what is economics? Economics is nothing but it is derived from a Greek word eco plus nomics. Eco means household, nomics means management, which means household management. Now you may understood economy is managing the household. Here the household is our nation. Okay, some of the basics concept of economics are national income, growth and development, inflation, India's 5-year plan, fiscal policy and monetary policy. These are the topics regularly asked by UPSC for Indian Engineering Services. Okay, now we are going to discuss national income as a first topic. Before knowing the national income, you must understand the concept of circular flow of income. What is circular flow of income? Imagine the society place here. When a firm established in a society, the firm requires 4 elements. The 4 elements are land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, that is ownership. These 4 elements are considered to be factors of production. Okay, these 4 elements are considered to be factors of production. They act as a factor to produce any product. Consider our product is pen. We are going to produce a pen. With the help of these 4 elements, we have produced a pen. Okay. Now we are going to fix a cost for this pen. How we are going to fix the cost for this pen? The factors plays a role here. Now the factors need some remunerations. So we are going to give remuneration for land as a rent. We are going to do remuneration for labor as a wages. Likewise, entrepreneur needs profit and capital needs interest. So these elements are considered to be factor payment, that is we are paying for the factor. These elements are considered to be factor payment, that is we are paying for the factor. Let us imagine the cost of a pen is 20 rupees. Let us imagine the cost of a pen is 20 rupees. How the 20 rupees have been played? Now, the cost of producing one pen, land plays a role for 5 rupees. The cost of producing one pen, labors plays a role for 5 rupees. Likewise, capital interest 5 rupees and entrepreneur, that is owner's profit 5 rupees. Summing up all these factors payment, we are arriving at the result of 20 rupees. So any cost, the product of any cost which is derived from factor payment, the factor payment is nothing but the remuneration for the factors. Now, this 20 rupees is considered to be a factor cost, that is the cost for the factors. This payment is considered, that is this 20 rupees is considered to be factor cost, the cost for the factors. Now, are going to introduce our products to market. But here the market is controlled by government. Controlled by government. So before our product entering into the market, we have to pay tax for the government. Let us imagine the tax amount for our product is 10%. The tax amount of the product is 10%. Now the 10% for 20 rupees is 2 rupees. The 10% of 20 rupees is 2 rupees. So adding up the taxes with the factor cost, we are going to introduce our product into the market. Adding up the tax rate with the factor cost, we are going to introduce our product into the market. Now, what will be the market price? What will be the market price? The market price is nothing but factor cost plus tax. The market price is nothing but factor cost plus tax. Tax are two types, direct tax and indirect tax. We are going to discuss this tax types in fiscal policy, that is public finance. Now just have an idea, there is a tax which is levied by the government for 10%. Okay, so market price equals to factor cost plus tax. Now our product price in market will be 20 rupees. The product price in the market will be 22 rupees. Here the society plays a role. The duty of the society or the need of the society is to buy the product from the market. In what rate the society will buy the product from the market? They will buy the product from 22 rupees. They buy the product from 22 rupees. That is the producer have paid the tax to the government, which is collected from the society. How? The producer sold this pen to 22 rupees. So there is no loss for a producer. The tax was paid by society. Now you may come to the conclusion, government levied tax for the producer, but producer indirectly transfer the tax burden to the society or the customers or the consumers. The producer indirectly transferred the tax burden to the consumers. These kinds of tax is considered to be indirect tax. These kinds of tax is considered to be indirect tax. Indirectly, the tax burden is transferred to some other person. When a government levied a tax on a particular individual or an organization, that organization or an individual paid a tax to the government directly. Say that example, income tax, IT. Such tax is considered to be a direct tax. Now you understand the differentiate between direct tax and indirect tax. Okay, here the income circulates. The society gives factor for the firm. The firm gives remuneration for the society, and the firm produces some product, and that product was bought by the society again. The income, that money circulates here. Such concept is called as circular flow of income. Such concept is called as circular flow of income. Now we are arriving at national income. Before entering into national income, what is income actually? Income is nothing but a remuneration for a productive activity. A remuneration for a productive activity. You are doing some productive activity, you will get some remuneration. Sometimes the remuneration will come without doing any productive activity. Say that example, old age pensions. Okay, right? You should not consider rent, household rents, because you are giving a service for some person by giving your vehicle or a household for a rent. For that service you are getting a remuneration. That is actually a income. That is actually a income. Old age pension is not a income. So income is nothing but getting a remuneration for a productive activity. Likewise, a nation do some productive activity. That productive activity contains goods production. That productive activity also contains service productions. So these kind of productive activity nations do. For that, nation will get some income. The studying the national income or understanding or measuring the national income, such concept is called as national income. Now know the definition for the national income. The total value of final goods and services produced by the nation in a given period of time, usually 1 year. Which means usually 1 year means the national income is calculated regularly a year. the total value of final goods and services. Understand the terms. The total value. Value means money value. Final goods. What is final goods? What is final goods? Consider there is a cotton here. From the cotton you can produce a thread. From a thread you can produce a cloth. With the cloth you can produce a shirt or chudidar, any kind of dresses. Here the initial goods or a raw material will be the cotton. The intermediate goods will be the threads and the clothes. The final goods will be the cloth, that is the dress we are using. We are going to calculate only final goods to study the national income or to measure the national income. Why final goods? Means because all the cost contains here. Example, the cotton may contain rupees 5. With the cotton we are going to produce a thread. The cost of thread never be less than 5. The cost of thread never be less than 5 because the actual value of cotton is 5. So with the thread we are producing cloth. Say that example, the cost of thread will be 10. The cost of cloth will never be less than 10 because we are producing a cloth with the help of thread. Finally we are arriving at our final goods, that is dress. So you can conclude the cost of dress will never be less than all these 3 items. The cost of dress, that is the cost of final goods, will never be less than intermediate or initial good. So it is enough to calculate, it is enough to measure only the final goods. It is enough to calculate and measure only the final goods. If we calculate the intermediate or initial goods, that results in double calculation, double up the adding, which results in innumerous numbers, which results in a wrong calculation. So in a national income we are focusing only on final goods and services. The total money value of final goods and services. What is service actually? What is the difference between goods and service? What is an actual difference between goods and service? Simple. Service is nothing but getting an remuneration for a productive activity that is not actually producing a good, that is actually producing a benefit. That is actually producing a benefit. Now, you are booking a car for a travel to a certain destination, to reach a certain destination. For that you are paying for that car driver. Okay. Here the purpose of the car is to pick you at some place and to leave you at some place. Pick you at some place and to leave you at your destination. The car do its services. You are paying a money for it. You are paying a money for it. Whether that money is to buy a car, no, it is not actually to buy a car. It is actually for the service the car made or the driver made. You are buying a phone, that is a product. Okay, without SIM card you cannot use a phone for a product at most level, Okay, so you are buying a SIM card, that is product. Now what next you do? You recharge for that SIM card. So by recharging you are paying money for the shopper. Whether that shopper will give anything for you for your cost or for your money? No. There is only a confirmation message you will receive. There is only a confirmation message you will receive. With that confirmation message, you can enjoy your data or your call time, talk time for 1 month, 1 week, as much you can use. Okay, the recharging for the mobile is service. Buying a mobile is a product. Okay, you are paying fees for a school, college, service. Okay, you are getting ticket for a cinema, an entertainment, service. Banking, service. Insurance company, service. Okay, these kind of app and YouTube's service. So now you can able to understand goods and service. So we are going to calculate the total money value of final goods and services. Okay, that will be regularly calculated for 1 year. Such thing is called as national income. Okay, now this national income is measured with 3 methods. This national income is measured with 3 methods. What are those 3 methods? Product method, income method, and product method, income method, and consumption and expenditure method. Consumption and expenditure method. Okay. Product method can be measured with help of 4 concepts. Product method can be measured with the help of 4 ultimate concepts, that is GDP, GNP, NDP and NNP. GDP, GNP, NDP and NNP. What are those elements? GDP, goods. What are those elements? GDP, gross domestic product. GNP, gross national product. NDP, net domestic product. NNP, net national product. Now we are going to discuss what is GDP. We are going to discuss what is GDP. GDP is nothing but a same definition as like national income with a small difference. What it is? The total value of final goods and services. The total value of final goods and services produced by the nation within the territory or boundary. The total value of final goods and services produced by the nation within the territory or boundary, that is domestic. Okay, gross domestic product. The product produced by the nation within the territory or boundary. Calculating that product is called as GDP. Calculating the total value of the product produced by the nation within its territory, it's called GDP. That product may be owned by foreign companies. Say that example, BMW, Benz or the foreign companies are also having the plant in India. We are producing it. Okay, whether that product or the cost of the total value of the product added to GDP? Yes, of course, because we are not mentioning about the nations, we are not mentioning about the Indian or foreign. You are only focusing on domestic, whether that product produced within the territory or that product produced outside the territory. We are focusing only about domestic. Domestic is a keyword here. Domestic is a keyword. The product must be produced within the territory. The ownership of the product can be anyone. He can be an Indian, he can be an Australian, American, it can be anyone. But the product has to be produced within the territory. Calculating such product is called GDP. What is GNP? Literally opposite to GDP. Literally opposite to GDP. The gross national product. Gross national product. That is, the product has to be produced only by an Indian. It is the calculating the total value of final goods and service produced only by the nations. Nationals means citizens. Here the product can be produced any corner of the world. Product can be produced any corner of the world, but the producer must be a nation, that is an Indian. The producer must be a nation, that is an Indian. say that example, the plant of Mahindra will be placed on Australia, European countries, America. Okay, the production rate or the cost of production by Mahindra, calculating all the corners of the world, is called GNP. Okay, the total, calculating the total value of final goods and services produced by the nationals. Nationals means citizens. The product can be produced any corner of the world, but the producer must be an Indian. Calculating such product is called GNP. Okay, the producer can be any country. It can be an Indian, it can be a foreigner, but the product must be produced within the territorial boundary of the nation. Calculating such product is called GDP. Both are different concepts. Okay. Now, how we will calculate GNP? How we will calculate GNP? Is that easy process? Calculating GDP is okay because it is happening within the territory. But calculating GNP, is that easy process? No. So, since we have a formula, look at this. GNP equals to GDP minus net factor income. GNP equals to GDP minus net factor income. What is net factor income? Net factor income is nothing but the payment made by the country for the foreign countries. The payment made by the country for the or to the foreign countries. Okay, the payment made by the foreign country to our country. Simple. Mahindra setting up the plant in US, that is the payment made by our nation by the foreign countries, minusing that value to a Mercedes-Benz or KFC setting up their plant in India, the payment made by the country to the foreigners minus the payment made foreign countries to our country, minusing or differentiating these value and summing up with GDP, we can reach GNP. Differentiating the payment made by our country to other countries with the payment made by other countries to our country. Differentiating these values and summing up the value to GDP, we will arrive at the concept of GNP. Okay, with that formula we can conclude GNP. Now, what is NDP? Net domestic product. What is NDP? Net domestic product. Simple. Net domestic product, actually what is net? You may have seen in gas cylinder gross weight and net weight. What is gross weight actually? The total weight including that cylinder. What is net weight? Only the weight of a gas, right? Likewise, the gross product or gross domestic product is entire product of a nation. Net is minusing the depreciation, For an example, you are buying a bike, you are driving for an year, okay, then there will be a fault, you are doing service for it. Actually the cost of a bike is you have already paid. Now doing the service for the bike, again the cost will happen. That cost has to be reduced from national income. That cost is called as depreciation. Okay, this depreciation happens in automobiles, mechanical instruments, electrical instruments. You are doing services often. That service cost has to be reduced. Reducing depreciation from gross, we will arrive at net. So net domestic product is nothing but reducing depreciation from gross domestic product. Net national product is nothing but reducing depreciation from gross national product. Now you may understand all these now you may understand all these four concepts to study the product method, to measure the product method. Now income method, we are moving to income method. Income method is simple. Okay, we are going to just calculate per capita income. We are just going to calculate per capita income. Now in a family, consider a family consists of 10 members. Each and every members differs with their income. The total income of the family is 1 lakh. Total income of the family is 1 lakh. But some person earning 10,000, some person earning 5,000, some person earning 15, 20. The income is varied. The total is 1 lakh. What is an average income of a person in that family? What is an average income of a person? The total income divided by number of person in a family, right? Likewise, per capita income can be studied. The total income of a nation divided by population of that nation in a particular year. The total population of the nation in a particular year. The per capita income formula is the total national income of a nation. The total national income of a nation divided by population of a nation of that particular year. Okay, finally, consumption and expenditure method. This method never been focused on any of the competitive examinations, so don't worry about this method, but please be focused on these two methods, that is product method and income method. Product method can be calculated with the four concepts called GDP, GNP, NDP, NNP, and income method can be calculated with the only one simple concept called as per capita income. Okay, in India, the first national income was calculated by Dadabhai Naoroji. In India, the first national income was calculated by Dadabhai Naoroji, and Dadabhai Naoroji calculated in a simple way. But first scientific method was calculated by V.K.R. Rao. V.K.R. Rao, the person who calculated national income with the scientific method. And then after independence, the official national income was calculated by National Income Committee. The National Income Committee was headed by Mahalanobis. Mahalanobis was the first person after independence who calculated national income, and he submitted his first report on 1951 and final report on 1954. In 1955, an individual organization has been set up called as Central Statistical Organization, who do all statistical measurement, which acts under the Ministry of Statistics. From 1955 till now, this institution calculating the national income of the nation. Okay, this institution had an headquarters at Delhi and a wing at Kolkata.